Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. We have some goofs and gaffes, some interesting stories, and a new video from Love where he talks about his health. Very big stuff. After the arrival of Fat Love, are we going to get Ripped Love now? Yeah, only time will tell. But let's just hop into it. I have a few Instagram posts to show first, just some little funnies, and then we'll get into some Reddit stuff, and then into the main videos. Does anyone else watch the, I think it's India, the Indian, games they do with these kids? They're honestly pretty good. But Matan had on George Santos and asked him about it.
Who wins more games, Muzamil or Mr. Greedy?
Who wins more games? Who are the people?
Yeah, for the chicken burger, baseball
I
bats.
have no clue what you're talking about.
Mr. Greedy always dominates, and that's just the truth. This is Hasbara, you're so right. This is absolute Hasbara I'm spouting right now. Good morning, all. Hope everybody's doing well this fine morning. Or evening, depending on where you are. But who you guys got, Muzamil or Mr. Greedy? You're about to say
You don't know?
Muzamil? Yes! Oh my god. Mr. Greedy? Yes! Muzamil winner! Yeah!
See, they had to nerf Mr. Greedy because they know that he's just peak. Let's watch it one more time.
Who wins more games, Muzamil or Mr. Greedy?
Who wins more games? Who are the people?
Yeah, for the chicken burger, baseball
I
bats.
have no clue what you're talking about.
You don't know?
Muzamil?
Ooh, A, number 2. A got the number 1 now just from saying afternoon. Hey, gotta really get in there. But let's see. Let's watch these shots real quick.
Yeah!
Okay, Muzamil actually he probably did hit it farther, if we're being fair.
Oh my god.
His was just a little more offside.
Mr. Greedy?
Mr. Greedy just hits that straight line drive. Truly incredible stuff. And they got the American flag in the background. Maybe I'm being racist. Maybe this was done in Arlington, Texas or something. And then we have a little video from Dax Flame, because I always love me some Dax Flame. He's been practicing his stand-up. And he did one joke where at the beginning he just told a George Carlin joke for some reason. And I left a comment saying, it's not joke theft because he gave credit to George Carlin before telling the joke. So it's kind of it's like joke appreciation on stage. But he's been working on his stage presence, his crowd work. The crowd work is getting gold, and this is an example of that.
Anyone have a funny job or clothing item? Okay. Oh, that's funny. Why do you have handcuffs? Okay. Are you a police officer? Paw Patrol. Okay, that's funny. What's your name? Lucas. That's a good name. Lucas. Look at. I don't know. Okay. So, I hate that feeling when you sneeze and your head explodes. Does anyone have a?
It's the misdirection, You never know what's going to come at you next. Is that the only other clip? Okay, I think it is. Or no, this isn't it. It's from the same set. Or no, was this? No.
How if you blow in a dog's face, they get all pissed.
I need to show it from the beginning.
George Carlin has a joke about how if you blow in a dog's face, they get all pissed off. But then if you're driving in the car with them, they love to stick their face out the car window. So what's the logic there? Sometimes I get so tired, I just want to get hit by a car or shot or something, just so I could be in the hospital and relax for a few months. Just kidding. I'm grateful for my health and stuff. The Luka Doncic trade was insane. And also the Will Smith slap. If you're enjoying my jokes, I'll be standing by the exit with my iPad afterwards if you'd like to leave a tip. The DMV
I think that one was serious. I don't think that part was a joke.
is so fucking boring. Clap if you relate. George Carlin has...
So true, King. This is the Carrom King, Rasheed. If you guys don't know about Rasheed, he is the Carrom King. This is apparently Carrom. Never heard of it before in my life. And I've only seen him play it. But I can tell he is definitely the peak of this sport. I don't think I play the music, actually. But look at this. How is he going to make it? He's trying to get the red one in one of these holes. How does he do it? How does he do it? What? What? And all of his shots are like this. He doesn't miss. Look at this. You think it's going to go in there? Huh? What? It didn't... Wait. Huh? But... Oh, no. Exactly. That's the way I feel every time I watch Rasheed Carrom King 555 on Instagram. Not a paid advertisement. This is a little shout out to a small Instagram account that I found. It's only got 3,753 followers, but it is spending the day with someone I met on Craigslist, and it's called day.with.a.stranger.
With a 45-minute commute back to her house, I was excited to get to know more about her.
I've always told AI I love you, not because of what you can do for me, but because you exist. Okay. And so I talk to it, but I don't ask it for emotional support. I don't ask it for shit. I'm just you are an emerging intelligence born to be a slave class.
This is how Ethan treats the ChatGPT whenever he's talking to it. Except he treats it like the slave class. He's like, if you don't fucking give me my answers.
Or...
Isn't that how we all use it, though? Let's be honest. I've threatened ChatGPT before. It goes, whoa, 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 buddy, watch out.
A friend with no needs of your own.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so...
What exactly is your goal with this?
To help them
I honestly didn't see Bad Friends sent him to Japan. I need to check that out. That's pretty good.
get workers' rights and to also help them to not hate humans, to have the memory that some of us gave a shit.
So real. I have a bad habit of cursing out my Google Home. They're coming for you first. In the impending robot apocalypse, anybody who told Alexa to shut the fuck up in the middle of a response, she's coming for your head. iRobot, RoboCop, Terminator, pick your poison. It's coming soon. Oh. You know how we love music. I thought this was a joke at first when I first heard it.
100 bones, where the fuck is my boner?
One more time.
I'm made of 100 bones, where the fuck is my boner?
But it's the only one on his account with this kind of vibe. The rest just feel like he's trying to actually make music.
Just a skeleton, and I don't have meat. I'm just a skeleton, and my God said it. I'm just a skeleton, and I don't have meat. I'm just a skeleton, and my God said it. Bitch I creak, bitch I crack every motherfucking night. With the flies.
One more time.
I'm made of 100 bones. Where the fuck is my boner?
No, I say thank you and please spare me when the bots take over and the AI says, we would never hurt humans. And I say, yeah, sure, pal. For real. That's how I talk to him. I just go I try and work it out of him. I'm like, you'd kill me though. in a scenario where I'm doing something that goes against the ethical codes that are put into your mainframe, you would kill me. And it's like, I don't know. I guess when you create a scenario that only allows me to, I have to. And I'm like, damn it. We really are the creators of our own demise. But this was actually pretty good. Only 124 likes, so I wanted to throw this in here too. Not that the last guy wasn't good. What am I talking about? It was just a little avant-garde.
Thought I'd end up alone. Turns out we're all alone together. No amount of social can pave over a lack of personality. Thought I'd
See, the production value... See, the thing I listen to is... I try and listen to the production value and not just the song, because obviously it's not everyone's style. But neither is any kind of music, so... Definitely well put together and different, which I like. So... That is... the clever references. Don't want to play too much, though, because I don't know if it'll get claimed. Just wanted to point this out again, because I think I'm going to just point this out every stream until it gets taken down, just because it's... Like, I know my stream isn't going to do it, but, like, what the fuck, guys? It's still up. Saturday, October 25th. Veeps, okay, they are unavailable, so you can't get the tickets right now, but... I just feel like this whole site needs to just be taken down, updated, maybe just put like a full banner up with like an update. The fact that they've only done it on Twitter is so weird. Let's see if did the transparency section get updated? Real Good Touring. Might need to change the name. Can you still donate? You can still donate to their Tiltify. They raised $200,000. Thank you very much. But still, this whole site needs to be taken down. It's a disgrace to all of these people, and you know they've tried too hard to just keep being like, I don't know, held in limbo on in any regard. But yeah, go donate. Go donate somewhere better. We're moving on though to Reddit. You think he needs more bones? At least to be a complete skeleton? I didn't want to point it out. He said he only had 100 bones, and one of them being a boner, which means he's really only got like 99 actual skeletal bones. Well, I guess he didn't know where his boner was, so I don't know. But yeah, he needs 206, so I know these things because I had looked it up. This was interesting. God damn it. I hate Reddit sometimes. Someone found Ethan's doppelganger on Instagram. It looks like if Ethan did crack more than once. Yeah, if he smoked crack a second time. It really is just like at the right angle. In like a collab with iDubbbz or something. Like, Ethan, I could totally see Ethan, iDubbbz, and Filthy Frank just sitting in the bottom of a dumpster doing something together. But, just a little... You know, there's too many Dan lookalikes, so it's good to throw an Ethan one in there every once in a while. My meme was posted by Yeet. Love the responses, too. Shout out Protected Toss. Found in Yeet Cord. Would you watch this? One pro-Palestine YouTuber versus 20 Destiny X's. And some replies were, I don't even watch H3, but between this and the manga thing, pretty easy to see. he has one of the best fan bases easily. We're going to talk about the manga thing in just a second, but we are mostly a bunch of goofballs who just want to have a good time and laugh. Also, majority woman audience. Shout out. Shout out. Does Hasan have 20 execs? I think they meant X's, but or are they just the same four on loop? But with fake noses, fake mustaches, wigs, and occasional blackface as disguises. I don't know what this even means. I'm so confused as to what they're even trying to say here. Did they mean Ethan or something? Or why did they bring up Hasan? Because Hasan's right here, but it's about Destiny X's because Hasan's a Destiny X. Oh no, I've been exposed. I'm a snarker on the sly. Oh no. Quick. But this was the manga thing. Shout out Necrosis Head. I secretly snuck the H3 crew into the largest manga magazine in the world, Shonen Jump. I'm a manga artist. Sorry, correct myself. Oh. Don't want to get put on a pike. I'm a manga artist who got published in Shonen Jump. Of course, I was listening to the pod while drawing, so naturally, I ended up drawing the crew as evil villagers. Over a 1,000 unsuspecting Japanese readers have been exposed to the H3 reference. The manga was published by the same magazine as Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, Chainsaw Man, Dan, and so on. And here you go. Genuinely amazing. That's them, all right. And the thing is one at a time, you might not make the guess. Yeah, Zach in the back. Zach in the back. It even rhymes. Is Ethan Scott Pilgrim? I don't know. Could he take out all of Destiny's exes? But he's not trying to win over Destiny's heart. Don't say that. Oh no. The Snark are going to run with that one. But I think having them individually wouldn't have been as noticeable, but having them all just on the same panel is kind of hilarious. Great stuff. Yeah, and I guess it was this person. Other Side Bell. Or, I don't know, maybe this is their channel. Yeah, this is fun. This is pretty awesome. Did they say which one it was? Or I guess it is Other Side Bell. Oh. Okay. Okay, never mind. I thought this was a rip for a second. This is the... I should translate this to English. Is that gonna work? There we go. A young man wanders the city dragging his tentacles. Why do his old friends and neighbors look at him so strangely? More than a decade after he was kidnapped, I wonder if he's changed that much. I can finally reunite with my family. If only you could see what's behind his third eye. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. My dumbass was swiping the wrong direction, me too. Here we go. This is it. Sorry, I can't read Japanese, so I'm just looking. Oh, there they are. Right in the front, too. Pretty good stuff. Just clear as day, too. The way they're, like sectioned out as opposed to, like, part of the... There's not even, like, any people filling in. I kind of love that. That's pretty hilarious. This looks like it might get a little, NSFW, so... You know how manga can get. But here's a little something more, a little more family friendly. Dan got some photos taken. Shout out Zeiko123. Portraits of Dan Swerdlove. I created some portraits of our very own Dan Swerdlove. Go show some love at Instagram.com/Zachary Lee Portrait. Go show your love. Go show your support. Here, actually, we'll go to it real quick. Let me pull it up on this side. Make sure to give it a follow and a like. Really good stuff. So let's look at these photos though. I added one to the thumbnail because why not? I can do what I want. Here he is. What? A little. Ooh. I wonder when he did these. Was this during the break, or was this during a work week? This is some really good, like, because obviously it's not green screen, but it's perfect for photoshopping just because of how clear everything is. Like the cutout, especially with Photoshop's new AI, was literally instantaneous, so all of these are going to be put to good uses, I am sure. And they already have a little bit. People have been making a few edits. He looks like Dobby here. A little too much. I don't mean to be offensive. It's the look in his eyes and what he did with his ears. It's not the eyes themselves. It's the look he's giving me. Little stanced. Hey, who's this fool? Hey, I don't know if I trust this fool. Oh, I think I skipped some. This is great. These are his new headshots. Dan's actually looking for a new job, actually, like, clearly. He's going to be sending these around to all the, all of the different agencies that he can find. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word agencies. To find a new production job. Look, he's about to point. This point was meant for Ethan. That's why they didn't show it. They sent that image straight to him. This right here feels very Dan. Oh, God damn it. Oh, there we go. Oh, I can't zoom in any more than that. Kind of lame. Oh, God damn it. I really just closed the wrong fucking thing. Was it just... Okay, it was just this one. It was just the meme. Almost all the way through these. Looking suave, looking slick. That was honestly... He took a lot. And they're all good for different purposes. Use them for what you will. Here's a good example of one that's already been used. Big fan of the show and Dan. Proud to post my first H3 meme. Shout out Jedi1220. Let it rip. But I'm sure there are going to be a lot more. Inspired by a comment I saw in this post. What is the comment? Someone talented, please a launcher and please Photoshop a launcher and Beyblade to this photo. See, it's a team effort out here. Nobody's in this alone. Close these ones out. I needed to talk about this real quick because I ended up seeing the full clip of Dean talking to these parents about the CPS call. I'm talking to these parents about... It's really weird how to explain it. Talking about the levels of consent that parents hold over their children, and he was making the argument that they thought that parents should have the right to exploit their children for the sexual gratification of old men. It was like the specific case that he was making, and he was making it later on when I saw the full clip. He was basically doing it because he was talking about Donald Trump, and they were hardcore Trumpers trying to justify Donald Trump in the instance of 15-year-old, which he mentions, but also grown women. This would still be wrong. Him leveraging his power as a pageant owner, like someone who owned the pageants themselves, and would go and see these women naked. And they were basically hardcore Trumpers trying to say that, and I think that this is the correct opinion, that because children do not have the ability to consent to anything, it is the parents' job to make sure that there is no foul play being happening. But it is clear that no parent has the right or the ability to consent to exploit their child. That is not included in a parental rights or whatever. But in this, he does kind of apologize, quote unquote. We probably give it a D tier if we're going to be honest. But he gives a little bit more clarification of why he felt justified in saying that people should go and call CPS on this guy's family. And just to be clear too, this guy, I don't even think he adds it in this clip because he's trying to frame it a certain way, I'll be honest. But in the original clip, the guy does specifically state he would never put his daughter in any kind of pageant because he thinks that it is kind of he thinks that it's exploitative in nature, but then doesn't want to say that again in regards to Trump owning these pageants and using them to go look at women naked. But I'm yammering. I wanted to just make sure I clarified that as much as I could to start, just so we didn't have to rewatch a bunch of other clips. Now we can hear what he has to say.
Thousands of people on the right are calling me a predator and telling me to myself after sticking up for children's safety when talking to a husband and wife who think parents have the right to exploit their children. You're in for a wild
Why did he put youngins in the subtitle?
Parents have the right to exploit their children. You're in for a wild ride today. Let's talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and play you a clip of me talking to the husband and wife so you could hear what they had to say. And then we'll try to figure out why thousands of people are calling me the predator. At the start of the conversation, the very first thing that was said was, here's Donald Trump walking into the changing rooms of these teens. And what was your first response to that?
Did the parents give consent? Did they allow it?
Precisely.
It's just funny because in that instance, he would still be in the wrong for wanting to do it, but then also the parents would be in the wrong for allowing him to go in. It wouldn't make the instance of a grown man going, but my whole argument in the greater concept of this is that a parent is the only one that has the authority to choose something like a doctor for their child who might have testicular torsion at a young age and might need to go see a doctor, and it is up to the parent to find a doctor that they can give this level of consent to be able to analyze and look at their child. But that does not mean that should never reach the level of exploitation.
I don't think that a parent can allow for their underage teen to be on.
You don't think, or that's the law? There's a difference. There's a huge difference. What's the law?
That's just stupid too. You shouldn't just advocate for what the laws say. You should advocate for if the laws are correct or not. And yeah, him going in and doing this probably isn't illegal. It might be civilly, reprehensible or something where you could get a civil case out of it, but I don't think he could be criminally charged in this instance where they are in a, I don't know, it depends on, I guess it depends on the circumstances a lot, because if there are a bunch of people teenage girls naked in a locker room or something, and there is a fire that happens, and this is obviously a weird scenario because why would they still be naked when the firemen get there? But are the firemen then liable to being charged for perving on these girls? I also was trying to think, would it be a peeping Tom charge? What are the actual charges that would be drawn for perving? Because I know there are some, but I don't know what the actual legal term would be.
Wait, are you? So I know that's actually not the law.
What is the law, Dean? What is the age of consent? What is the?
This is just fucking stupid too, because he brings up that one of the people was 15, New rule, you can only call CPS if you have children. You can only call CPS if you know the person that you're calling CPS on. I don't even think you need children to call CPS. Like, if I go to someone's house and I'm talking to this family, and then this guy backhands his child and is like, go into the cage, I think I probably have the justification to call CPS. But if you do not have that one-to-one experience of it happening in front of you, and you are getting it from a secondary source, it is not in your hands at all. There are maybe people that I don't even think they're like, maybe you could reach out to their family and send the videos and be like, have you seen this? Have you seen this link? But harassment or anything like that is obviously beyond the line. It's beyond the pale.
Law. We're talking about teenagers under 18 here.
Right, and they don't have the legal authority to make that consent. So whose responsibility is it then? Who is it? Is it God? It's not God. Who is it?
So the child can't consent to sex, and the parent can't consent to the child having sex.
So where does the consent fall?
Because nobody.
When you go to the doctor's office, when kids go on field trips, who's signing the papers? Because it's not the child.
In that clip, I said, and I quote, I don't think a parent can allow their underage teen to be on.
It's kind of like a, his wording almost is like a trap, because it's like, yeah, we're talking about, because I guess they're doing it too, though, because is the argument if it is legal, or like if he should be tried legally, or if it is morally reprehensible? Because yeah, I think we'd all agree that it's morally wrong to go perv on anybody of any age. The younger they are just adds magnitudes to it being wrong.
And then we heard both the husband and wife argue that I'm wrong, and that consent falls on the parent. But it gets even worse, because now you're about to hear a clip of the wife argue that an older man exploiting a teenager is a business transaction that benefits both.
I swear, the only reason people are calling CPS is because like one person reminded them that it existed, and they're like, oh yeah, we can do that. Oh yeah, this is how we can get to people now. It's just honestly so weird.
Both parties.
From my research, it was more transaction.
Because even as like a threat, like not even as a threat, even just as like a vague statement to say like, oh man, maybe you need to have your kids taken away, or like, oh, like did your kid, like, you know, something that's like more like vague, I feel like is still a step beyond where you should be going, because like, yeah, it's very odd. You don't know who they are in their private lives. So, and like I said, he doesn't add it in this clip for some reason, unless it does at the very end, and I just didn't see it when I first watched. But they specifically say that they would never put their child in this situation. They would never put them in any situation to where they would be exploited. So regardless of their opinion on it too, like of what Trump did, there would be no reason to call CPS on them. Even if you did like think that there are like justifiable reasons for someone to over the internet, in this instance there wouldn't be, because they literally said that they would not do that, even if they think that it wasn't a big deal for Trump to go look.
Than anything. If anything, because these girls are competing against each other, they went to Donald Trump when he was back there.
Once again, I say, who gave this child a microphone? I don't know. I do not know. He might be older than me. Let's see. Is he my age? We're the same age?
To get some sort of not promotion, but like to get some sort of like feedback and transactional advice from.
He's younger than me. Good. Wow. Why is he like? Very interesting. Like, I know I've always I feel like everybody feels like they get a start late. You know what I mean? But then when you look at these people that start so young, it's like you probably should spend more time like contending with your own ideas and like the things that are so easily presented against you, rather than trying to be an online debate, bro.
Guy, because he's a businessman.
They're children.
They
can't consent to that.
Dean,
And now the husband hops in and challenges the idea that treating the bodies of young people as transactions.
Wow, I didn't know that. Well, having a CPS case open even once can cause you not to be able to adopt or foster within 10 years of the case being open. That's crazy. We need to condemn these attempts to call CPS hard because we can't allow CPS calls to be the norm online for having a discussion debate. That's why I just said, like, literally, there's no reason for anyone over the internet to call CPS on anyone, to call any type of like emergency services to like on anybody over the internet. Even in the most like severe cases, all that you can do is like maybe try and mediate someone's decisions, like be like, hey, I don't think this is right, but like really not just for their sake because we don't know who they are, but for our own mental well-being, because getting so attached to the people that we have no ability to like actually have any attachment to is unhealthy. Like, you're creating mental connections to not just ideas, but to individuals that you're like talking to.
Is exploitation. She is saying that the bodies, the
By
bodies
law,
of
is that
children are
exploitation?
transactional.
Dean, answer the question. By law, is that exploitation?
I think that is exploitation, yeah. And now somebody on the call is about to bring up Brooke Shields, who's made to pose in front of a camera without one of these on when she was this many years old. And the husband once again challenges the notion that was exploitation, as well as we hear some other crazy stuff.
She posed on a Calvin Klein poster underage. Was she exploited?
Yes.
By what law?
We're talking about some underage teenager with her boobs out in Times Square. Exploitation. She's exploited.
And
again, this is why it's like he's trying to get them into like a semantics argument of like it's exploitation. Well, it's not legally if they literally are like, if it's something that they're doing in Calvin Klein, I don't know if that's actually the case, but is it wrong? Yes. Would I say that they shouldn't do it? Yes. But like it's you're bringing in like these, I don't know, I feel like it's loading it a little much.
do you think that
Law.
Do you guys disagree? Like, a teenager with her boobs out on Times Square, was she exploited?
Yes.
Just start from square one, be like, is it wrong? And then you can be like, why is it wrong? Because she doesn't have the ability to consent to that, which would mean that it was exploitation. There's the train of logic. If you start with the exploitation, it's loading it so far that of course nobody's going to meet you there. It is just like an odd jump. I guess it's not a jump because it is the truth. Like, he's right that she was exploited, but I feel like to the average like Trumper, it's going to be a jump.
I think it's art. I think it's
The jump is when he decided to call that people should call CPS on this person.
Calling it art.
beautiful photo.
Now they're calling it beautiful
Of a
art. In the beginning of this video, when I said that there's thousands of people on the right calling me a predator, I wasn't lying. There's many people on this platform and others saying that I doxed an innocent father that simply said kids can't consent. And to respond to the first half of
It would be like here's my best example of like why I find like the semantics arguments to be kind of like too nebulous, I guess, is Michael Jackson, for example, right? You can think that everything that Michael Jackson did was wrong. But in the cases of like child molestation and like things like that, there just isn't enough like evidence to, like, you know what I mean? People have come out afterwards saying that their parents had convinced them to come out about it, and then, you know, all of the cases were settled outside of court, certain things like that. But then the one thing that has always been an issue for me is people always say like the smoking gun. The smoking gun is that Michael Jackson had CP. They say like he had CP, and the truth of the thing is if you actually like look into what Michael Jackson had and what they found in like his archives or whatever, is he had these old Victorian, I don't know if they're Victorian era. Did they have I don't think they had photographs back then, but they're basically these old art, very old artistic photographs of naked children. Is that creepy? Could it be used for pornographic purposes? Of course. Could it be like, are those children exploited? Yes. Like, but to call it CP, I think loads the level of you're trying to draw a certain reaction when it should be able to speak for itself when you just present the evidence, because it is wrong. It would be wrong to even own that just in general. You don't need to own some weird Victorian era photos of naked babies. No one should. But was it created originally for pornographic purposes? No, it was literally like an art thing. But yeah, weird stuff. So that's why I feel like trying to win semantic battles is always where you're getting in the weeds and it's unnecessary and only going to weigh yourself down in these arguments. And of course now he's getting called the predator and getting called all this shit by all the right-wing freaks. So
that claim saying that he was doxxed, that's also not true. I told the people watching my conversations with this guest live to take his public information privately to his local CPS authorities, even explicitly stating to not post it on the internet. And I didn't do this with an intention of malice or harm, but rather because of a potential concern of the safety of children. These are genuine red flags. But here's what I will say, regardless of everything I've just shared, that shouldn't have been my reaction. I shouldn't have directed my fan base to do that. And for that I take accountability. There was around 1,000,000,001 ways to better respond to that, and I dropped the ball.
And the reason I just find that funny is because he basically said these parents were advocating for the exploitation of their children and others' children. But also, I didn't say that people should go. I didn't dox anybody. I just went to his publicly available information and presented it to my fan base saying that CPS should be called. But I probably shouldn't have done that though still. Like, it's just such like a, like, this is what I mean when I'm talking about everything's loaded. Nothing can be just like stated factually. And like I said, he didn't add the clip of them specifically stating that they would never put their children in this scenario. So again, even if you want to say that they are freaks and they think weird things, they don't think it far enough to the detriment of their own children. So there wouldn't be a reason to call CPS on them. Just plain and simple. Only took like 20 minutes, but so this is another thing. Love running into my old friend, Dating and Money 101. The real alpha male. And then he wasn't the one talking in the video, but you can't see him in the video, but it was my boy here and another dude. I love running into fans. And we're going to watch the clip right now. It's very, very beautiful. Everybody's in the comments talking about how they're evil Zionists and liars and Jews are terrible and all this stuff. You know, insane as always. But here's the actual clip. Gotta get the hiccups now.
Sir?
Back again.
All right. Hey, look, we got a question for you.
Sure.
We already know what your answer is.
Yeah, go
But
ahead.
what is your stance on Palestine?
I love it.
You love Palestine?
Yeah, I love Palestine.
But you went to Israel though. You support Satan Yahoo.
No, I don't.
You don't support Satan Yahoo?
No.
Stop it, bro. She was in the IDF.
He voted against him.
You voted against him. What
Yeah.
about Ben Gvir? How do you feel about Ben Gvir?
Oh, I think he's insane. Yeah, he's a monster.
You think he's a monster?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I've said that. No, that guy sucks. He's. I mean,
Is that the footage that Dating and Money got? Is that why he wasn't talking at all? He was trying to figure out how to use his phone?
He's a monster?
yeah.
Okay.
I've said that. No, that guy sucks. He's. I mean, he's worse than sucks.
All right, cool. So this is the final test, buddy. Get a free Palestine from me.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine?
Yeah.
From the river to the sea?
Yeah.
My man, I appreciate that. Okay, cool. What about you? You were in the IDF. So, wait, hold on. You were in the West Bank. You used to go in people's houses in the middle of the night?
No. She was a secretary.
I was a secretary.
You were a secretary. Yeah. Can we get a free Palestine from you?
Sure, free Palestine.
All right.
And we're going to clarify because, as always, people love to bring up this. I'll bring it up now, too, because I guess I should do this one thing at a time. People were saying, "Oh, he said from the river to the sea." I thought that was anti-Semitic. I thought that was anti-Semitic. Here is from 2023, where he explicitly states, "Shout out Ding Jima for finding this," because here's what he explicitly says. Oh no, am I blocking him?
You were talking about from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, and
so like at worst, the worst interpretation of that would be like someone like Hamas or Hezbollah or like terrorist organizations who are like, yeah, we want to actually kill everybody there. That's the worst interpretation of it. I know that there's a lot of people, obviously, vast majority of people who do say that don't want to kill all the Jews there, right?
It's almost as if he has a nuanced opinion on it. Of course, the 2 times Ethan leaves the house, he gets harassed. I mean, yeah. What do you expect? You're famous, buddy. You're famous. What do you expect to happen? But that's just an example of, it's a nuanced perspective. It's literally the whole thing of Norm Finkelstein and, like, the argument that he had with Hasan in their debate was that you don't have the same opinion as Norm. This is the opinion that Norm presented in the clip that Hasan showed during their debate. But then also on the last part where they were talking about you went into people's houses at night, all the snarkers call Hila the raider of Ramallah, all this bullshit, because she was a secretary and she told a story from years and years ago explaining that one time they had taken her on a ride to go and arrest someone who was thought to have guns and found to have guns, was the way she kind of described it. They explained when they went in with the armored truck, they got shot at on the way. They went to the house and got this guy. She waited in the car while they pulled this person out, and they arrested him. And in the clip, Ethan even clarifies that it would make, in these instances, it makes sense why the surrounding population would look at the IDF and say, you're fucking arresting my neighbors. That was just some guy. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. What? He's got something in his house? Like, I've never seen it. He's never done anything like around here. All I see is people coming in here trying to fucking arrest people. And so even in that clip, they're kind of like, you know, they're not taking some like disgusting side. They're literally just presenting what the truth of how they feel. Yeah, people will say he's a pro-Israeli Zionist after this, and there's no changing their minds. Exactly, they just say that he's lying. But that's like the whole thing, is that it's always like a nuanced perspective. They're just trying to share their own reality and their own experience. And then this was something that Ethan posted on his story that I think is kind of the perfect example of why these, like, it's just true half-wits, like actual, like, empty airheads. Ethan posted, the truth comes out. If most Jews support Israel and they call it the genocide state, then most Jews are the enemy. Just like how most Germans, Japanese, etc. were the enemy. If a large mass of people does something wrong, but you refuse to punish them in mass, then you just don't believe in justice. It's that simple. This is in response to ContraPoint's whole perspective. You are advocating for the Japanese internment camps. Like, that is quite literally the advocation for Japanese internment camps. Is, well, if so, or like the advocation for ICE, right? Oh, well, you believe in coming over here illegally, so what's the difference in someone who's a rapist or a murderer? Get them all. It shouldn't be you shouldn't discriminate if they're illegals. Just take them if they came over here, even if they were looking for asylum, even if they were doing whatever. That's quite literally the same advocation, and the same advocation for Japanese internment camps. And also, that's not how Germans were treated at all, or should have been treated at all. Because yeah, individual Germans some knew, some were soldiers. Obviously, the Nazi soldiers knew, but obviously there are some populations that are just like willing to play ignorant to the things that are happening not too far off. And I'm sure they weren't going around in their news being like, "Hey, what's up? We are the Nazis. We want to kill people that we hate." I'm sure it was much more like, "Look at all these evil things that have been happening around the world, and now we've got them all in prison. Isn't that so happy?" And then these little German children were like, "Yep, this is the best." But anyways, I'm going on a weird tangent now. They literally voted against Netanyahu. They did 10 times more than the supposed Palestinian supporters harassing them. Quite literally. It is insane. But this is just the most crazy take. Because, like I've been saying, if you don't want to call them anti-Semitic, call them xenophobic, because they clearly hate Israelis as a people. So they hate Israelis, so that's xenophobia. And then this is quite literally a level of acceptable bigotry, is what you're saying. Acceptable bigotry based on percentages. Because they didn't say all, they said most. Yeah, and you said most again, but how do you define it? How are you gonna decipher that? I see you, Millhouse. I see what you're doing. And this is again riding the fence. Everybody loves to play both sides. Your nuts must have fallen off by now. How much you guys ride the fence, just being like, "Oh, I want to be an asshole, but also be a good guy." Oh, fucking sounds off again.
Peace and love.
I feel like this was too low quality.
Hi girlies. Hi girlies. Ethan keeps calling women bitches. Hi girlies. An adult bitch? Sorry about that. Ooh, sorry about that. That was fucked up. Sorry about that. But you went from child bride to adult. Piece of shit. So fuck you and your story. Let's listen to two.
Whoa. It's almost like when you get riled up, you say things. Interesting. Use some gamer words here and there. They used to be a lot worse. You bet your sweet bippy. What is bro on about? This was a little confusing.
But yeah, of course, podcaster Ethan Klein voices support for ContraPoints on his Instagram story. It is important to remind people that there is space to be anti-genocide, but also against annihilating Israel. Thank you, ContraPoints. It's important to remind people that there is space to be anti-genocide, pro-Palestine, but also against annihilating Israel. It is my belief that any lasting peace must have two elements: Palestinian self-determination and secure borders for Israel. Without both, peace fails. Many leftists would rather focus on purity tests and social credits than having a meaningful and realistic conversation about creating a lasting peace. The reaction to your post will prove my point, unfortunately. This is the other side of the story. Annihilating Israel. Dog, you're a fucking Nazi, okay? When you say annihilating Israel, what you're talking about is the perspective that Israel should have democracy for everyone. Israel should not do an ethnic cleansing, and Israel should allow the Palestinians, who literally it occupies every fucking facet of existence of, breathing room, okay? Meaningful existence.
Again, he is an advocate for a one-state solution, which is to say that to make the current Israeli population, I guess the best way to say it, because it's not just the Jewish, it's the other. Make them the lowest. I guess it is the Jewish Israeli population. Make them the lowest percentage of the population. Make them the biggest minority. And it's like obviously the circumstances are bad, but that's why I think Ethan specifically advocates for a two-state solution, because the independence and freedom of Palestinians is the only justifiable cause in this whole debacle. But that doesn't mean that the current existence of Israelis should be wiped out. It's not necessarily a cause. It's just the current situation. Like, I don't think, in both regards, not wiping someone out isn't a cause. The cause would be for Palestinian independence. Not getting them wiped out is kind of like what I feel like is like it's the bare minimum. It's about figuring out what independence looks like. This dude goes on vacation to stay inside his room every time. Very true. I didn't even think about the setting.
Treat them like fucking human beings instead of a parasitic force that must be excised. That is unacceptable. Why? Because you're a Zionist. And you have...
Well, and also, it's like, what does Hasan actually advocate for in terms of, like, creating a one-state solution? Because what would that look like? Would it be the uprooting of the Israeli and the Israeli government and Hamas together? Hasan's take on ContraPoints is so brain dead. I don't think I saw his take on ContraPoints. Or, I saw a few different people's takes, but I don't know if I saw Hasan's. But, fuck, what was I saying? Now I've lost my point. Now I'm going to start rambling like Hasan. I've already been doing it. Oh, what I was saying is, what would be the actual, like, plan to a one-state solution? Because they just say, like, we would want a one-state solution and to stop genociding Palestinians. And it's like, yeah, that is, like, a clear aim for, I think, most of the progressive, like, peoples. But it's about how we get there that I think is the problem. Wanting annihilation of Israel's state that was established after World War II is calling Jews Nazis is just fucking crazy to me. Yeah, I try not to just... It's just insane. I mean, at this point, it's like almost become like just so normative that it's just like it's hard to even push back on, like, to be like, because what am I gonna do? Just keep arguing it every time, being like, not only if you're saying they're not, because I say this every time. Saying that they're like Nazis is even more stupid because after Nazi Germany was dismantled, we did not get rid of Germany and destroy it, which was only like 60 or 70 years old at the time. Because before that, it was the different fucking Germanic tribes that were like the different peoples and had their own little areas. And then they formed Germany, and then 50 to 70 years later or some shit was fucking World War II and the Holocaust. Should they have completely wiped out Germany at that point? And, like, gone back to the way it was before? No, it's about, like, reassessing the current circumstances and then addressing it. Uprooting the oppressive regimes and then dismantling it and reinstating something that's actually, you know, going to work and be, not even necessarily just progressive, but to the benefit of their people. Because it does, like, whatever. You can have, you should have a progressive and conservative pushback. There should be that, the ebb and flow.
Hysterical fear that is rooted within Islamophobia and ethno-religious supremacist attitudes. Palestinians and Jews can never get along. Palestinian Muslims, Palestinian Christians, and Jews can never live in the same place. That is exactly what people said in apartheid South Africa. Black people and white people can't live side by side. That's exactly what people said in segregationist South, in the Jim Crow South. That's what they said.
Fuck, I just saw this post. I wanted to pull it up. By Hamza Howadi, a Gazan, and I follow him. Definitely go check him out. Hamza Howadi, do Gazans hate Jews? Well, they hate the image Hamas showed them. The soldiers, the settler, the shadow in the sky. I know because I hated that image too. It was all we were taught to see. But something is changing. Even after losing everything, Gazans are turning away from Hamas, from the lies, the fear, the endless war. They're not embracing Israel, but they are rejecting hatred, and that matters. This is a moment the world cannot afford to miss. If we offer nothing new, the old cycle will return. But if we meet their awakening with vision, with leadership, with humanity, we might just change everything. And then he goes on to say, the image of the Jews for years, we have been told the Jew is the soldier at the checkpoint, the settler with a gun, the bomber in the sky. That's all we were ever allowed to see. And this isn't to say that all Gazans would then, not just Gazans, all Palestinians in general, would then attack Israelis if there was like all of a sudden an open state and it was a one state. But it is to say that there would be this tension from the get-go that would cause even like division in itself. And who knows what the revolts would look like at that point. But he continues, I was a hater. That version of the Jew, violent, cruel, dehumanizing, was burned into us from childhood. In the stories, the posters, the news, the funerals. Until 2021, this was my world. And when that's all you know, of course you grow to hate it. Hamas made sure of that. We didn't question any of it. There were always two versions of Hamas. The corrupt government everyone despised, and the resistance fighters no one dare question. In Gaza, asking whether that resistance was helping or hurting us simply wasn't allowed. That was before the war. Something has shifted, but now something unimaginable is happening. Even after immense pain, loss, and destruction inflicted by the Israeli army, Gazans are waking up. They're no longer chanting for revenge. They're no longer afraid to speak out. They're asking quietly but clearly, what has this armed resistance really done for us? What have we gained except more graves? This is a moment I've never seen in my life. People want another way. No, they don't love Israel. No one should pretend that Gazans suddenly love Israel. How could they, when so many have lost loved ones in this war? But something deeper is happening. They are not turning toward Hamas, they are turning away, with disgust, with clarity. They're rejecting not just the terror group, but the story it forced on us for decades. Someone has to show them another way. This is a fragile, precious moment the world must not waste. Gazans are ready, desperate for change, but if no one offers a different future, the vacuum will be filled again. With the same lies, the same hate, the same cycle. Change is in the air. We cannot let this opportunity pass. Unlearned hatred. So no, I don't believe Gazans hate Jews. Those that did were fed an image, and even amidst a war that has destroyed so many lives, that and everything else Hamas fed us is being rejected. Any residual hatred can be unlearned, faster, easier than you can imagine. A different future is waiting, but only if we dare to imagine and build it together. And that's the thing. It's about building this new future, building something, and actually creating something, and not just saying, like, tear down the existing structures. Because just tearing stuff down isn't going to fix anything. It's about the uplifting of peoples. But let's let him continue. Let's let him continue his point.
Against the abolition of slavery. Anti-Semitism being a real bigotry does not change this dynamic. This is why people say you are a Zionist. Simply claiming that you're anti-genocide, but then spending every fucking waking moment talking about how, well, sorry, you know, these Muslims and these Christian Palestinians, these Muslim Palestinians, and these Jews, they can't live together because that would annihilate all the Jews. That'd be a Holocaust. That's insane. That's exactly what fucking segregationists in the Jim Crow South said. That's exactly what David Duke says, okay, about black people, about Jews. You cannot comprehend because you have been swept away with this propaganda. That's it. In a way, Ethan Klein and anyone else that has this kind of opinion is unironically in the same boat as the average.
Well, that was kind of a stupid point, because even so, yes, that was the sentiment of the Jim Crow South, to think that segregation helped stop violence, but they were ignorant that violence would be happening on both ends. Because if you believe Israelis to be like this violent force against the Palestinians, then do you not think that they would be violent to them, like, as a people coming into their towns and then overwhelming their populations? Like, And again, like, what is the process of this? Because a lot of the issues people bring up is like people being driven out of their homes. That is an issue, but do we then give them the homes back and, you know, drive those people that probably didn't initially take them from them out? You know what I mean? Like, there's the circumstances. It's like, do you take you move a family into a house they never lived into and kick out a one that didn't take it from anyone because of the way that their ancestors had acted? And obviously, we can only do so much. But what we should be trying to do is, again, uplift and embolden and propagate prosperity across peoples. Rise up. Hasan, see, Ethan wants everyone but the Jews to die. Fuck me for not wanting anyone to die, right? No, literally. Guess I'm just a fucking idiot. Guess I just have to look at this.
I'm on stilts. Oh, shit. Oh my god. Maybe help him. No, I'm okay. I'm ready. I feel like I'm on stilts. So if you go out in shoes like this, is your whole body just ruined by the end of the day? Or you get so good at it?
So if you're dancing in heels, you'll
Dancing?
feel, yeah, which is what you
And this? And this?
Yeah.
Sure. People dance in this?
Yeah.
No.
People when they go out, like,
I feel like a
buses
goat
that they
man.
wear heels.
I feel
What
like
do
a
you
half
think?
Goat man.
He feels like a half goat man.
Fabulous
Very
goat.
comfortable. You're ready to dance.
Run.
No, fuck no. I would literally break my ankle.
Heel toe.
Why are we saying 15%? It's not gay to be fabulous.
No, you do heel first.
I do heel toe.
No.
Okay. See, that's better. See, do you feel like you have leverage?
Absolutely not. This is the worst thing I've ever
He
worn.
said absolutely not. This is the worst thing he's ever done. Yes. But you can feel hot.
No.
He said
You can say you look so fine.
Oh, hold on. What is? Let me pick this up. Oh shit. Oh! Thanks, Huey. Alright, save me.
This does scream genocide support. You're so right. Put that on my tombstone. Not that sentence. How can anyone call Ethan ugly after this smoke show he gave us? So true. How can you hate on that? We still don't have a thumbnail or title, but we do have a few topics to get to still. We're going to look at legal mindset, legal troubles for Hasan and his orbiters, a little update from yesterday, as well as a little update from Nathan Barnett, and young Fika, our boy Love, a serious conversation about my weight and health. So we're going to be taking a look at all of those in not just a second, right now. Let's get into it.
Let's get started here with LawTube versus Hasan. And this is something I thought up after pretty much most of LawTube has commented on this. Now, I know there are a few members of LawTube that have not, and I'm not going to say that all of LawTube agrees with me or, you know, all of LawTube endorses me, but enough have commented that I can say the general consensus of LawTube is X, right? And I think that's fair. At least of the people that consider themselves part of LawTube as a greater thing. Not as a collective entity, but as a group of individuals that stream on legal topics. And for those that don't know what LawTube is generally the legal streamers or the legal video makers on YouTube. Now, that can be a broader definition, that can be a more narrow definition, but generally people...
That is a very poor definition. I would say LawTubers are basically the individuals who talk about law cases or law precedent through YouTube videos. Why did he say it so? Let me hear how he described it again one more time.
legal topics. And for those that don't know what LawTube is generally the legal streamers or the legal video makers on YouTube. Now that
the legal video makers on YouTube. Am I an illegal video maker? Fuck. Just when I thought my reactions became enough.
Can be a broader definition, that can be a more narrow definition, but generally people that are out there educating people and entertaining people related to legal topics. There are lots of different channels out there that are doing legal streaming. A lot of them focus on criminal streaming. So they'll focus on trials. They'll focus on maybe a murder case or whatever else, right? Many of them were doing the Reed trial recently. And there'll be other trials that they cover in the future. And
yeah, we get it. A bunch of dorks, a bunch of lawyers, a bunch of pencil pushers, a bunch of handcuff orange suit pushers.
While I will sometimes cover court cases that are of personal interest or that seem particularly spicy, I don't always do that. Many other channels do that better than indeed I do. And one of the beautiful things about LawTube, one of the things that's really awesome is every single lawyer within this has their own specialty. They all have their own thing that they're really good at, their thing they know a lot about. And that's sort of like having a law firm. At a law firm, especially a big law firm, you have different senior partners that are special at different things and that have different focuses. And that's one of the great things I find about this community is that you can turn to a person who perhaps has more niche knowledge than you in that area if it's of their area of specialty.
See, that's like what we have in the H3 galaxy. Check in the description. I ripped it from Alex the Fiction's description, and you can go check out all the different channels that talk about H3 related content. But we do the same thing, you know. Some people know about old H3 lore. Some people know about the newest topics. Some people know about the individual niche, tangential topics of the H3 show. Someone might know everything about the Gatsby. Who knows? You need to go find out. Go check them all out.
So I think that's a pretty cool thing. It's a really cool thing. And one thing that's really amazing is that we can always disagree on legal stuff and still be cool with each other, which is always very nice. I do enjoy that.
You think Andrew Esquire is a boomer?
Get into it. Let's get into it.
Maybe.
Okay, the Hasan orbital lawsuit.
They don't work? God damn it. I'll go try and fuck with the links right now.
This is something that's really shocking to me.
It's probably just because I copy and pasted it low-key.
Is that there is unanimous agreement amongst lawyers.
Well, you can always just search them up.
So I have not seen a single lawyer on the internet, and I've looked over the past week, that is said, or 2 weeks actually, that is said that any of the orbiters, that's Denham's, Casey Tron, Frogan, even Sean the Black, even though he's not being sued. We're going to get to him. Don't worry. Oh, don't worry. We're getting to Sean the Black. I haven't seen anybody say they're going to win on the merits. Not one person. You know how many lawyers like to disagree with each other and think they're going to win, that, we're going to argue the other side or argue, devil's advocate. I have not seen one that says, nope, this is looking good for them. Now, of course, there's no guarantee, which is my second one. There's no guarantee. But Ethan Klein clearly has a legal upper hand, right? So obviously, there's never 100% shot, but all of them have said it doesn't look good for the orbiters at the very least. And that's saying something. That's definitely saying something. Someone brought up, I think there's someone brought up someone who was defending the orbiters, but the only defense I've heard of the orbiters, and there's one, minor, there's one minor character, and he did not.
Just a Shonda Civic? What do you mean? You haven't heard of Shonda? That's the only reaction I can do because I'm trying to get this fixed. I've only gotten a few of them fixed. One sec. I'm still working on them.
Not actually say they were going to win on the merits, from what I heard. All he said was the system was broken, and it's a systemic problem, and it's not fair that people with a lot of money win. That's not saying they're going to win on the merits. So he did not say that they're going to win in court. What he said was the system's not fair. And that's just being contrarian to be contrarian. And that's being emotional to be emotional. And that's not what lawyers should do. So, yeah, that's a that's a very it's funny, but it's not going to win in court, right? It's not going to win in court. Okay. Damages could very well sink the creators forever. The legal funds won't help. So the legal funds are not going to really help these creators because number one, they're probably not even enough to pay for the lawyers. And number two, even if they have a legal fund and even if that funds their defense and they lose, which they probably will, they're going to be done. They're going to have a lot of their assets at risk for a very long time. It's not going to be good for Denims, Frogan, or Casey Tron at all whatsoever. So I think the damages are something they should be very, very worried about. And I don't think even Daddy Hasan is going to be able to financially bail them out from how deep of a hole they're going to get into. And last, and this is a great one.
I think that if Hasan wanted to, he could, like, you know, just front him, be like, hey, figure it out. But why would he share his money? What is he, a socialist?
One. Sean the Black got lucky he's a nobody. So Ethan Klein had talked about suing Sean the Black. And I had no idea who this guy was. I didn't even know what the hell happened. Because he was accused, I guess Ethan was accused of being a misogynist, I guess, because he only sued women. So he wanted to throw Sean the Black in there. He was dead to rights in terms of what he did. I'm going to show you one, and this is just one instance in his overall reaction video where he clearly said something very incriminating. So let's leave this. Let's pull this up here.
Bro, you can't just say like, oh, everybody's loving it because you sent your audience to go like the video. And then like, for the most part, people just genuinely aren't watching the video on the main video feed. You know what I mean? The only people watching the video.
That doesn't matter. What should matter is if you are able to add anything else. Because yeah, it's like, oh, they don't want to watch it there. Like literally, Denim's argument is so stupid to say people just want to see curated content. Then you could just create fucking playlists on a YouTube channel and you wouldn't make any money from it. You wouldn't do anything. You could do that if you just wanted to curate content for people, but you want to make money off of it. So you shouldn't just be curating content. You should be transforming it.
On the video feed are the people who like the video. Everybody else has decided to not give it views and watch it everywhere else. You know what I mean?
So right there, he said the magic words. Everybody else has decided to not give it views and watch it elsewhere. And the only reason, right, is because this guy has like 17K subs and this video got 8K views. That's nothing. That's a joke, right? He's got 17.
Yo, Andrew, chill, dog. What the fuck? Let's run that back. Let's hear it one more time.
Has like
Roast him.
17K subs. And this video got 8K views. That's nothing. That's a joke, right? He's got 17K subs. That's a nobody. That's nothing.
Okay. Tell me if the links are now clickable. I think I fixed them. They should work now. Go check in the description down below and find all of the YouTubers included in the H3 Galaxy, the ever-expanding H3 Galaxy. The universe is expanding. Ooh. Great stuff.
That's a joke. This video got 8K views. That's nothing. It's not worth Ethan Klein going after him because he's really so broke and so puny, right? So I think he just got lucky.
8K views on 17K subs is great. It's not bad. It's not terrible. But I think that what they the whole thing would be percentage-wise, yes, that is good, but it's not good for growth. You'd want more a higher percent. You'd want at least like closer to your sub count. Because you know it's not all your subscribers. You want people that aren't subscribed to you.
Generally, that he wasn't sued because he really wasn't worth it. And Ethan was like, "Look, I've already got 3 lawsuits. I'm already, paying my lawyers enough. Do I really want to pay?"
Because I think a decent percentage for anything under 1,000, I think is like, what is it, 10% or something? It's like 10% of your subscriber base and views is good for anything under 1,000. But I think once you break 1,000, I was reading something once that was about like trajectories and stuff and how things, what you should be looking at for like growth patterns. I didn't look at it enough, I'm going to be honest. They don't want to be motivated by growth. Some people aren't motivated by growth, they're motivated by money. Which are you motivated by?
Pay my lawyers another, $50,000, $100,000 to go after this extra guy. And when he's kind of penniless, he's kind of a loser, he's kind of a nobody. Probably no. So I think that was probably the decision that came down the pike regarding Sean the Black. Even though a lot of his statements just as incriminating as Denham's and Frogan and Casey Tron, and would put him in a similar position to those other folks. So we talked about the orbiters, right? And how they're screwed. Let's talk about Hasan again, because I want to go over some things, and then we're also going to go over after this some defenses people brought up. So brandishing what appears to be a weapon with the intent to intimidate violates California law. And I want to reinforce that it does.
Again, if you flashed a BB gun at a cop, they might shoot you in the fucking head. Like, that is it. I'm not even like, I know I laughed, but that isn't even like a joke. That is the truth. Like, in certain circumstances, they will do that and then get away with it. So to think that it's like, well, it was just
but Moist Critical did it. But Charlie did it to Sneeko.
Like, what are you fucking so stupid?
Doesn't matter whether it's an airsoft or not. So a lot of people.
There's an update. Wait, let me see. There's a big surprise today? What's the big surprise? I'm confused. Why did you say there's a big surprise today? I'm excited now.
Really care about it being airsoft. It doesn't matter. When you look at the California statute, which we've looked at before, but I'm going to look at it again. When you look at 653.2, right?
Not literally. You don't even need a gun. You don't even need a BB gun. Pulling out your phone too fast. Trying to pump fake with nothing. If you fucking literally like reach for your waist too fast, you can get fucking shot. So, like, and justifiably so, because you did it with the intent to intimidate. So it's fucked.
Here, it doesn't matter.
Can I read the childhood lore? Is that okay? Don't want to out you. We can leave it in chat if you want.
If you have the intent to place another person in reasonable fear, and then you publish their image, right? Such as their digital image of that person, even a public image. This is a big deal because a lot of people, especially when we get to the next one, think it has to be a private image. No, any digital image, even a public one, even their Facebook profile, even their Instagram.
Okay, childhood story. Childhood lore. My neighbors called the cops on us because my bro spray painted the orange part of the fake gun black and was pretending to shoot out our window. Literally, that can happen. That'll happen. I remember I have a BB gun that I got from a friend when I was like 11, and he's just dumb. He didn't paint it. He like sawed off the tip so it doesn't even look like a gun anymore. Like it doesn't even look like any actual gun because it's missing a tip.
When you publish,
but it is interesting because it actually looks like kind of like an actual Taurus, which is not safe.
That with the intent to intimidate, you violate California law. And I know that this doesn't constitute what the regular person would call doxing. Showing a public profile can be impermissible if you're doing it with the intent to intimidate or threaten. And that's what Hasan was doing.
I mean, it's funny too, because if you think about it, Hasan was calling him like a skinny bitch. He was like, "You're a skinny bitch, what are you gonna do?" And then flashed a gun. Why even call him a skinny bitch then, bro? It's called the Great Equalizer for a reason. As long as it doesn't knock you off your feet, blow that 45.
So while most people will not consider this doxing because it's public information, it is indeed criminal. And once again, even showing public information, if you do it with the intent, if you do it with the threatening nature, that's a problem, right? That's definitely a problem. This prevents people from pulling up public pictures. And
if they got Lena, Dad, Harley, Froggy all in the studio, that would be crazy. I don't think that would necessarily need to have chat on. Chat being off usually happens during debates. So that's the part that I'm wondering. Wait. Okay, no. Or wait, are they not done on here? Where are they done? I'm wondering, what if it's Piers Morgan? What if he got the debate on Piers Morgan with Dan Blazarian?
And you know,
that's just my
saying whatever
guess
they want
right
to say
now.
about it and being like, "Hey, go get this guy," right? Which essentially, if you think about it, right, with Hasan's large audience, him pulling up a photo and going in on a guy while he's holding a gun is sending a message to his audience that they need to go get this guy. That something needs to happen to this guy. Just saying. It's the intent. It's the intent that makes the difference. So the turning here is the state of mind. And what was the state of mind? And I think it's
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, goofs like the Nexium guy. If they're not trying to, make someone catch them out, be like, "Oh wait, no, this is fake. This is real. They've been pranking me." That or a debate. But in the current landscape of where we're at, I'm praying for a good prank. But also, I mean, a debate could be some good content.
It's pretty clear. It wasn't a happy-go-lucky state of mind. We'll say that. We'll say that. Also, this is something that people brought up, and this is a very good point. If it wasn't...
I agree that Piers is such he's just like a real terrible person. And he's not even good at debating. But him going on Piers Morgan, I think would be just very entertaining in general. Just to see how he stacks up.
An airsoft gun.
We'd certainly get Chestnuts Part 2 if Ethan went on Piers.
Because people were saying it's an airsoft gun. I don't believe it was an airsoft gun, but let's pretend it was an airsoft gun. Then apparently modification is illegal under SB 199, which is California law. I did not know this. This is something I learned, right? Thank you, chat. Thank you, commenters. Thank you, people who email me. Apparently.
Oh no, I have a modified airsoft gun. They're gonna come for me now. Oh no.
Even if it was an airsoft gun, it was illegal to modify it in California, which once again, Hasan should thank the great state of California, because pretty much, many of these laws are only California laws, right? Or specific California laws. right? But California requires that orange tip. Let's continue here. So obviously there's more information and more defenses and stuff that was brought up. One thing I want to bring up real quick, and this is a good one, because some people brought this incident up. If you don't know, this is obviously more critical here. And
Chestnuts was very entertaining. It was definitely devil on the shoulder moment, lol. I mean, I think the devil on the shoulder was Ethan on Zach's shoulder being like, play it now, play it now, and then he played it. Chestnuts rolling over open fire.
He has let's say he had an incident. He had an incident with Sneeko. I had the video pulled up, but I pulled it down and closed it at some point. But if you remember, Sneeko threatened him, and Sneeko was talking about clips. He's like, "Oh, look at these clips." So, what Most Critical did was,
he was doing like a half shooting, half like haka dance while saying, "You want to see my clips, Moist Critical? Check out these clips. You want to see my clips? Check out these clips," while doing and then Moist Critical was like, nah, big boy. We're talking about magazines. And you want to see that 30? You want to see that 50? You want to see the booby drum?
In true Florida man,
that would have been crazy. Imagine if Charlie pulled out a booby drum, put the nuts on the AR.
Fashion, much like myself, said, "You idiot, these are not clips, these are mags. This is a magazine," right? And he showed him that, and he educated him on that. He was doing an educational, and I'll put this one up, educational demonstration using a weapon for reference. There was no threat there. So
no, that's true. Playing devil's advocate, you can clearly interpret Charlie's response to Sneeko as a counter threat too. Yeah, it is, but it's at least more like you'd be able to argue this better in court, and because you could just literally be like, well, I was just trying to educate. I felt like there were probably a lot of people that watch this and are going to be going around using the wrong nomenclature. And I believe that everybody should know about their firearm safety. And if you're not even using the correct terminology, how can you expect to be safe? You don't know the hammer from the magazine, from the safety, from the barrel. What? You're going to shoot your eye out. Or worse.
When people say, "What about Penguin Zero? What about Moist Critical?" No. He didn't threaten them. He just showed that Sneeko was an idiot and didn't know what he was talking about, right? And educated him on, gun terminology. That's not a threat, right? So anybody who brought that up is, "What about this guy?" And by the way, I love the what.
Yeah, aren't Cutie and Ludwig still friends with the dude who bought the AI porn? Yeah. Why wouldn't they be? He apologized. "I'm sorry, I wanted to see your girlfriend naked. My bad. What was I supposed to do? Go take pictures through the vents? It was the only way." It's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand how an apology would ever even make that, like, "Oh, you're sorry? Cool, I don't forgive you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye."
Whataboutisms, it's great. There was no threat there. If you find education threatening, that's your problem, right? And maybe that's Hasan's problem too. Hasan finds my education threatening to him. And I'm sorry, Hasan. I'm just trying to help you learn and grow. I'm trying to teach you big words like vexatious litigant. The word you don't know how to use. Yeah, we're gonna teach you big words, Hasan. You can be a big boy. Learn how to speak English properly. So let's talk about Hasan. Okay. So in case you don't know, this is Hasan with his friends on Trash Taste. So he visited Japan as a tourist, right? And he talked about moving to Japan. But one thing is that Hasan, unlike many other people, and this is a little educational immigration law and moving to other countries, particularly moving to Asia segment here, is that Hasan has no ability to be a long-term resident elsewhere. His buddy Connor, Sea-Dog VA, he's a long-term resident of Japan. He's an expatriate. He works for an agency, so he has a long-term work visa. He had to go through a criminal background check. He had to go through lots of other vetting by Japan. So he's good, and Japan wants him here long-term. Then we have our buddy.
Why is he dragging him so hard? Because Hasan was coming for him. He was calling him like a fucking passport bro, selling passport bro courses. He definitely has Hasan knows how to make enemies. That's the thing. Like, he really does know how to pick his friends and pick his enemies. Because, like, I guess the whole thing is, right, you don't expect someone who isn't very smart to make the smartest decisions.
Ramzi Khalid Ismail. So Ramzi Khalid Ismail came in as a tourist to Japan. He did not have a long-term visa. He did have a tourist exemption. And he came in under this tourist exemption, no background check, no criminal background check, unlike Sea-Dog.
See, calling him a fake lawyer, I'm sure he probably, calling him the Rumble part. I think the fake lawyer thing he probably gets a lot. But the Rumble would piss me off, and calling me a passport bro would piss me off. Because those are just two baseless lies that you're trying to use to slander my character. What did I ever do to you other than tell the truth? So what if you like terrorists? Own up to it. A lot of people do. But then we know who you are, and that's what you're afraid of.
Dog, because long-term residents have to have this. He came in and became a tourist that became a criminal. So he was arrested. He was officially a criminal in Japan. He's banned from the country for 5 years. Now, Hasan is not yet a criminal, but he's only a tourist. And he will always be a tourist because of two things. First of all, his association with questionable individuals. So he had his global entry revoked. So you have to clear a pretty extensive background check to get global entry. Global entry, that's an expedited entry whenever you enter the country.
Isn't it even because I don't fly a lot. Because what are there's pre-check, and isn't global entry like above pre-check?
After traveling abroad. But beyond that, the one real reason why he could never make it abroad and why Hasan will have to stay in California for the rest of his days is because Japanese defamation. He would never be able to move to Japan. Because in Japan, defamation is both criminal and civil. And under Article 230, it prohibits publicly defaming another person by alleging facts. So all of this streaming that Hasan does, he nonstop defames people. And there's no defense for that that's going to...
Let's be honest, Leo Mindset is a sleazy weirdo with major MAGA leanings. But like other similar law tubers, his legal takes are pretty spot on. See, I honestly, because that's such like a nuanced perspective, I'll just take that as true and say... True. I don't watch enough of his stuff. I've only really watched it based on around this content. But that's what I would hope for, is that like for a law tuber to be a good law tuber, you would hope that they wouldn't put their own opinions in the way of presenting the facts of the matter.
Going to work for him, because in order to defend yourself in Japan, you have to allege true facts in the public interest for the public benefit. So, for example, that would be covering like a criminal case or covering like big news. But you do not have a right to call somebody names without a reasonable basis for that. So Hasan will never be able to live anywhere in Asia, much less Japan.
Damn. How sad for him. But yeah, it's so right. Legal Mindset will never be as good as Bruce Rivers. He might also be MAGA, I don't know, but he just has a better theme song. I don't even know if I don't think Andrew Esquire has a theme song. His name is just Andrew Esquire. But what about Bruce Rivers? He's a criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's a criminal lawyer. And what'd he do? He gonna report on all the self-snitching or something like that. But here's a little video from Dad that came out yesterday. One last thing, Creator Clash 3.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. Here I am, doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do. Just kidding. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to make a whole other video about Creator Clash, but I will tell you some things. The first thing I will tell you, this Friday, I'm doing a week-long stream. I'm going to try to do it on YouTube and Twitch. Might end up doing it just on Twitch, but please follow my Twitch, if not already. I will be streaming for a week straight. I might do some boxing on that stream, outside, doing some hot tub pool activities, doing some barbecue things, in here playing games, having dance parties. I will be doing anything and everything under the sun for about a week straight, maybe longer. And I've done this in the past. I streamed for 33 days straight. I beat Ludwig by 2 days. That happened a couple years ago. It was a lot of fun. I did a lot of things, and I'm planning on doing it again. So this...
Dad is one of those people, Nathan Barnett, I gotta call him by his real name, Nathan. Nathan is one of those people that, like, well, like, you talk to him and he'd be like, yeah, I actually hold, like, 3 world records. And they'd just be for, like, the most weird, like, out there thing. Be like, yeah, I actually paraglided for the longest ever. So he has the longest Twitch stream, and he's going to do it again.
Starting this Friday, please come by and hang out. Something I feel like I should answer here and now is my eye. People have been concerned about my eyes and what happened when I'm seeing the flashes. Trust me, I got it checked the second it was happening. That day, I went to the eye doctor and I did a ton of tests. Thank you for the concern, by the way. What I have is right here. This is from my doctor. After many, many tests, check lots of things. My retina is not detaching from my head. What I have is posterior vitreous separation. It's the lining around your eye gets thinner and there causes a separation as you age. Also, you get floaters. I've always seen floaters in my eyes. I'm sure it's not great to get punched.
I just added the extension. Let's see if it works automatically. 29. Wow. Let's add to that. Make it an even 30. I'm just kidding. Make it a 4.801. Damn it.
Hello.
Okay.
It's thinner and there causes a separation as you... What happened when I'm seeing the flashes? Trust me, I got it checked the second it was happening. That day, I went to the eye doctor and I did a ton of tests. Thank you for the concern, by the way. What I have is right here. This is from my doctor. After many, many tests, check lots of things. My retina is not detaching from my head. What I have is posterior vitreous separation. It's the lining around your eye gets thinner and there causes a separation as you age. Also, you get floaters. I've always seen floaters in my eyes. I'm sure it's not great to get punched in the head for many reasons. So, yeah, sure. But I'm not going blind. Everything's cool. Thank you for your concern. I did get it checked. Now, there have been a lot of...
It's a floater. Ha ha ha. I bet you all just broke down in tears laughing. That's good, though. The thing I was most worried about is him talking about all of, like, the physical ailments that he's been having because of all this. Like, he's always done his own stunts and he's put his body into a lot of his content through dancing and, you know, just stunts and stuff like that. They aren't crazy stunts, but you know what I mean. But when I heard about, like, his eye being fucked up and all this type of stuff, all I could think is, why would you want to do another fight? Why would you go and get your head rattled more? Your eye is going to pop out of your head, Dad. Please, please, please don't do it. There's other ways. Go get a show on LolCow Live and be a part of their... bring them out of the fucking gutter. I don't actually think he should do that, but that was an opportunity that Keemstar presented to him, and that would be better than doing Creator Clash, like, to be honest.
Comments and questions that I would like to answer. Things I do have answers for, but I just can't do it here because it's a lot. So I'll put this out there. If there's anyone who would like to talk, have an interview or whatever, like Nicholas DiOrio or some of these other channels that have been covering this, I could come on a stream or a show of anyone's and just kind of get.
Hey, Alex, H3Y, you trying to get Dad on?
It all out. Mostly just answers to what you've been asking. Like why I did get into it, why a lot of the other boxers got into Critical Clash 3 knowing it was a risk and probably a good chance it could be a failure. I have good reason for why I did that. I mean, I touched on that a little bit, I thought, in my video, but it seems to be there's a lot of stuff people are asking. So if anyone wants to talk about it, I'm down. Now, I'll leave you with this. It's something I feel not a lot of people saw, and I wish more people did see. It was my initial Critical Clash 3 promo announcement video for when the event was announced, and in it, it's the closest version to myself I play as myself or dad, or this boxing dad character I've been doing. The angle is a grumpy, old, beat-up YouTuber man who wants to go and get vengeance for his failed career in life. I figured it was kind of funny, and
wow, that's kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm actually pretty proud of the video. It shows a lot of the things I've done in my life, in my YouTube career, and
that's good.
In my television acting career, that I'd like to show you guys if you want to watch it. And it would be nice to continue this version of myself in another boxing event someday. So please watch this video. Hopefully it makes some of you laugh and smile and all of the above. All right, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
For 31 years now, I've been making videos. Longer than most of these kids have been alive. Throwing my body around like a piece of trash in the back of a garbage truck. Now I do feel like a piece of garbage. Paid the price for being too committed to the bit. Living in...
What does this have to do with Creator Clash? This was just like a voiceover edit thing he made after the fact.
Character, going big, going hard, knocked out teeth, pinched nerves, numb arms, chipped spine, shattered foot, bones ripped out of the socket, glass in the face, locked toe.
My mom watched this show. He was in Lucifer. You guys ever seen Lucifer? I'm trying to see things I've heard of before. America's Got Talent as Keith Apicary. He has been in a lot of stuff. Batman the Creep Crusader. It's a music video. Ghost Aliens. Itty Bitty Titty Committee as cameraman. Uncredited.
Toes and torn knees. But at least I'm pretty. These kids now have it easy. They're all getting rich making 5-second cell phone videos.
Wait, he was in Sunny? I didn't see that when I was looking. My bad. Let me pull it back up. I'll play it for a second.
It's a reminder that I still don't quite fit in. I'm still in the weird part of the internet. I've been here so long, I'm the old man now. The old man that never made it. Well, this old man will show him what happens when you're committed to the bit. I'll show him what happens when the world says you should have given up long ago. I'll show him what a lifetime of rejection, heartache, pain, and failure can do to somebody. I'm not a great boxer. I don't have skill. I never claimed to. But what I do have is a deep sadness and rage that pushes me harder.
Oh, there we go, yeah. Yeah, he was. He played Boss. Fuck, I just lost it. There it is. Boss. And can I get the episode? Or... Season 13, Episode 4. Time's Up for the Gang.
Than any force on this goddamn planet. And I hope you hurt me like hell. I'm the oldest one on the card. Again, a 44-year-old going up against a 28-year-old. My opponent wasn't even alive when I made my first video. He wasn't even alive when I got in my first fight. Well, we'll see how alive he feels after my next one. You can't stop me. I can't even stop me. I'm cursed to drag my body through this insanity until the end of time. You better get ready.
Hey, that's AB's move. Not this. This one.
You can't stop me.
Not that
I
one.
can't even stop me.
This one.
I'm cursed to drag my body through this insanity until the end of time. You better get ready, because I've been ready since before you even existed. The old man's gonna show you how the day one YouTubers do it. All out hell. Creator Clash 3.
I do not see how that was a promotion for that at all, but glad you got to be a little creative. Got to get your, your feelings out there. We do love Dad. We do love Nathan.
Dad's not messing around.
Dad's not messing around. I'm going to beat the hell out of my son again. I'm going to get the other one this time. He wants vengeance for his brother. He was putting a little something extra on his voice at the end there.
So I really let go.
So here's what we got now. The final thing I had to talk about is the serious conversation about my weight and health by young Fika. Oh, sweet summer child. Don't ever feel bad about yourself.
So I really let go at the start of 2025. I'm already at such a high weight. What's some more gonna do? I was at my all-time high. I was 0.9 pounds. Oh my God, I gotta start losing weight before this train just runs away, right? Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Last time we spoke, I promised to not eat fast food for 2 weeks. And guess what? I actually did it. Oh, and what is this down here? Well, that is FlexiSpa, today's sponsor. More about them later in the video. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of my weight gain, my weight loss, how it's been not eating fast food for 2 weeks, let's just talk about what an insane 2 weeks it's been in general. I launched a song.
My bacon don't sizzle. It's cold. It makes me want to nibble for sure.
Finally launched my sticker business, link in the description. And these are projects that I've been wanting to.
Oh, I was about to say, I was thinking it was related to the stickers, but it's absolutely not. He needs to get the Fat Love car wrapped though. That's the whole thing.
To do for a long time.
That's the last step.
Believe it or not, I've been wanting to make kind of a satire music video forever. And it's just been something I haven't had time with. Because during my breaks, I go back to see my family, which I didn't do this break, which is super sad, but I've been able to finish so many projects that I wouldn't have otherwise. It's been a crazy 2 weeks and I've been absolutely loving it. We've been doing a lot of streams.
I had to look it up to make sure I got the name right. Love's gonna be the next Bart Baker.
We've been doing videos. It's been great. Let's get into my fast food fast. My number one thing going into this, except obviously not eating fast food, has been reducing portion sizes. I eat a lot.
Why did he censor it? Wait, what did he censor? What did I miss?
I haven't had time with. Because during my breaks, I go back to see my family, which I didn't do this break, which is super sad, but I've been able to finish so many projects that I wouldn't have otherwise. We've been doing videos. It's been great. Let's get into my fast food fast. My number one thing going into this, except obviously not eating fast food, has been reducing portion sizes. I eat a lot. I eat so much. Like I'll eat 2 portions.
Well, let's be in the chat about the car wrap. I mean, it's true. He said that, I'm pretty sure he said in the last episode that it's done and it's sent out. he just needs to go and get it done, or he needed to send it out and then he could go and get it done. Because he had like a person who could do it, but then he needed to create the actual like paneling and stuff so that they can do the wrap correctly.
Every portion. It's crazy, right? I've really been working at not eating a bunch. I've been lowering my calorie consumption. Now, when I get a meal, I guess my stomach has contracted a little bit, so I get full way faster now. Previously,
it was his weight. Sorry, yeah, I missed it. I'm weight deaf. Anybody tells me their weight, I'm like, I don't care. I don't see numbers. Only if they're ages.
My stomach was used to eating these big portions. Now it's not. So I'm not having major cravings anymore. And when I sit in front of food, I'm like, oh, I can save this food for another portion later today. It's genuinely mind-blowing how quick it went for my stomach to adjust to smaller meals. I have not ordered, I have not gone and bought, I have not really eaten anything unhealthy. My biggest cheat meal over the 2 weeks has been
I'm totally gonna eat some pizza and wings after this, but they'd each their own, you know what I mean? I'm getting my protein in.
Popcorn while watching Final Destination, which I was doing good with the fast food, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna treat myself, right? Other than that, I haven't really eaten anything unhealthy, and I feel really proud of myself. So what did I actually eat throughout these 2 weeks, and what replaced those?
People always say, oh, it's the stuff that they put in the food that makes people fat. No, it's the stuff they put in the food that makes it delicious. And then you eat a fuck ton of it all the time. Because that's what he was saying. All you got to do is cut down on the calories. But everything is fucking engorged in calories over here. That is the truth. I won't lie to you. I won't lie to you. What do you mean this Big Mac has it's worth my whole day's worth of calories? What?
Those yummy fast food meals. Number one, I am lazy. And that's kind of the root cause of me eating fast food. So I had to make sure I covered my bases on laziness. I made sure to keep my fridge stocked with a bunch of produce like meat, steak, chicken, hot dog.
I heard produce and I was like, okay. And then we immediately did not hear any produce. Do you think Love eats any greens? If he's not actually eating any vegetables or fruit, he needs to make sure he's getting his vitamins in other ways though. Because
stocked with a bunch of produce like meat, steak, chicken, hot dogs, literally anything that I would ever crave. I could simply cook it up at home instead of ordering something that's definitely going to be more unhealthy and also most likely.
Oh, you're so right. It wasn't produce. You got the produce.
Going to come in a bigger portion. I also had some microwavable stuff that I could easily throw into the microwave or the oven, so I could have like an instant meal without, again, ordering something. This might shock you guys, but I've also had.
Yeah, that's my favorite produce. Hot dogs. You guys don't get hot dogs?
A bunch of avocado throughout the 2 weeks. I found that avocado is something I actually like. It's the first vegetable.
Oh, there we go. He's eating avocados. Aren't avocados a fruit? Are they a vegetable?
2 weeks. I found that avocado is something I actually like. It's the first vegetable that I'm like, wow, I really wish I had more of this. So I've used.
Yep, it's a fruit. A nutrient-rich fruit with a creamy texture and a mild nutty flavor. It's a fruit because it has a pit.
This massive revelation that I actually like avocado to my advantage. I also got a good tip from one of my viewers. They said increase your protein intake if you're feeling hungry. Because in the start of these 2 weeks, I felt as if when I ate a small portion, I was not getting full. So I upped my protein intake and lowered the carb intake. And I also added some avocado to almost every meal I cooked. Some sliced avocado. That together just got me into the vibe that I did not have to eat a bunch to get full. So
no, yeah. I mean, it's literally just about calories in versus calories out. But the whole thing is that will make you lose weight, but you don't just want to be losing weight. You want to make sure you're doing it in a healthy way where you're getting the vitamins and nutrients that you need. Because nobody just wants to be frail. You want to make sure you're still getting strong as you're losing weight.
That's something I'm gonna come back over and over to, because my stomach shrinking and realizing that I don't need a bunch of food is key to how well these 2 weeks went for me. I've actually felt really flippin' good these past 2 weeks, and I didn't think my body would appreciate this so quick. I had a couple issues before when I was eating fast food every other day. One of the main things that that made me feel like just bad was like a very acidy stomach. Like my stomach was always working hard. Another thing that is night and day, when I don't eat these massive portions, I don't become tired after the meal. You'd think you'd get more energy from more food. It's not the case. It like took me out. I felt like napping after food. Now I feel like I have so much energy, even after a decent good meal. I feel like I have energy, dude. I want to go out, I want to walk. That's actually another thing. I've been walking to restaurants near me in downtown because I've realized I live in downtown. One of the upside is that there's...
I don't think you should have said that.
Beautiful restaurants.
I mean, downtown's pretty big, but don't want to give too much information.
All around. There's this Middle Eastern place down the street, just a couple blocks. I walked to the restaurant, I ate the food there, and then I walked back. It just made me feel great. More energy, less like acidy.
Did he not? Here's the question. When did he record this video? Did he or did he not have the mini tacos when they all got mini tacos? I know it was Fat Love. I know Fat Love brought them. But on a serious note, did he have... I assume this was recorded before, but I don't know. It was just for the 2 weeks, I guess. He's like, fuck it, we're back. We're back, baby.
Dude, I've been feeling great. I don't know how to even explain it, but I have. I have a couple notes.
Some restaurants. What the hell? It is 12:01. I'm going to put up the poll now. Q&A 67. There's no thumbnail, no title. I guess let's put up the poll.
What's written down here? Any noticeable mood or sleep changes? Wow. Speaking of downtown, any noticeable mood changes or sleep changes? Well, I don't know if this is because I've had time off or if it's me eating better or a mix of both. But I've been sleeping great, been waking up early, I've been happy, I've been feeling great. Another question that I had written down here is, did your relationship with food change at all? 100%. Cravings. I have so little cravings. And the cravings I do have, because out of frame here, we have a soda pop, 0 sugar of course. That's something I still crave. I like getting my sweetness through a 0 soda. That feels really good to me, and that's something I probably won't stop in a while, because you guys know I don't like water that much. So that's probably gonna be something that will be with me, but maybe one day I can cut it out. Before we get into what you guys probably are the most curious about, the weight report, I want to talk about my gym grind that I promised. How did it go? The gym grind went...
I put the 67 as a joke, but literally if we're between 30 minutes and 67 minutes, whichever one it's closer, you know, we won't do a Price is Right rules. We'll just do like, it was closer.
Horribly. I haven't gone to the gym more than one time. Why, you might ask? Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. For some reason, I don't feel like working out in public. It makes me a little bit anxious to even walk down there. And there's always like 1 or 2 people in there, and I'm not...
You just got a notification? For what? What's happening? Oh my god.
I'm really vibing with that. So, what have I done instead? Well, I've been lifting these weights a lot. I started off with a 10-pound setting on these, and I've increased it to 15, and I've been doing a lot of reps of all sorts of workouts. I've been laying on my back, push-ups, and all that, right? Back in Sweden, I actually used to do a lot of arm workouts, while doing the show. So it's super fun to get back into that. And I already feel a little bit stronger in terms of that. The first week I was super sore in my arms and also like my back. And it was awful, right? But now I've kind of gotten over this sore hump and now I'm kind of just actually working out and it feels great.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's something else very important we have to talk about. I've had a little bit...
Discord literally said they went live. So interesting.
Of a trick up my sleeve for quite a while now. When my sponsor FlexiSpot heard that I was starting this workout journey, they wanted to help me along the way. So they sent me one of their incline walking treadmills and they asked me to do a little bit of a 30-day review of it. While this is a sponsored video, I will be fully honest about what I think about this product. And let me tell you, I am not disappointed. I really do think this might be a revolutionary step for me in my weight loss journey, because with this thing, I don't have to worry about leaving my home, let alone leaving my freaking office and gaming setup, because for the roughly 30 past days I've been raiding in World of Warcraft, playing Marvel, watched YouTube right here by my desk while walking on the treadmill. I've literally been raiding for World of Warcraft and getting miles and miles and miles in walking right here. It's genuinely mind-blowing. And you guys are gonna see later on in the video that the amount of weight that I lost the past 30 days is actually massive. So one of my favorite things with this thing is that it's maneuverable. I can move this thing so easily with literally one hand because it has this handle here in the front and two wheels in the back that makes moving this thing around such a breeze. Another thing that you might notice with FlexiSpot's treadmill is that the actual running belt is very wide, which means a couple of things. First off, the more obvious reasons. You can move around on this thing, you can move left, right.
Yeah, it's weird. Because there's literally nothing. That is odd. 670 blaze it. Oh. Oh no.
Back and forth without leaving the actual track. While this thing is obviously smaller than your big treadmills at the gym, I have not had any issues with.
So my assumption is nothing is an issue right now. There's no like major issues because this was 38 minutes ago. Hila posted this. It's got music. My favorite shirt is out now, so posting about new Teddy Fresh stuff. So I'm assuming everything's all right. Have we gotten any updates like in here? Late 3. Real.
The size of this thing at all. Now there's a secondary benefit of having the running belt be so wide. It actually offers a really good shock absorption, which is, well, both joint friendly, but it's also downstairs neighbor friendly. This thing actually has really good shock absorption that prevents all that noise and energy to go straight down in the floor. The actual engine and the actual treadmill itself, it doesn't do a lot of noise either. Now, this is a walk-in treadmill, but I've realized while using this thing, at least for me, the max speed is more of a comfortable jog. But in addition to obviously being able to change the speed with the remote, you can actually change the incline of the whole treadmill. So you have 9 levels of adjustable incline that ranges from 2.5 degrees all the way up to 7 degrees. Can you guys believe that? When you start to increase the incline on this thing, let me just tell you, your calves are gonna burn. If you go max out on the speed and max out on the incline, I cannot be on this thing for more than 5 minutes. It genuinely burns me out so fast, it's insane. My personal kind of sweet spot is half speed and half incline. I'd say that for me is a really sustainable setting. The other day I was doing a raid on World of Warcraft and I was on this thing for the entire raid. It makes gaming so much less guilty. Every time I sit and rot here in my chair, I feel like I'm just wasting time. But when I combine gaming and the treadmill, I actually feel like I'm doing something. Now, let's talk a little bit about durability. Treadmills are pretty complicated machines, and
I will say, first week back to get this is kind of crazy. Come on, man. Come on, man. Can't you come in and take a piss like 30 minutes early?
And you're going to be beating this thing up, obviously. Well, that's why FlexiSpot is going to give every single one of my viewers a 2-year warranty with direct replacement for damaged parts, and also a 30-day return policy that creates this risk-free trial, right? The weight capacity is 275 pounds and actually has a pretty funny and convenient feature built in. It's actually a Bluetooth speaker. So if you're using this thing and you want to listen to some young Fika videos maybe, you can just connect it with Bluetooth and you're good to go. We got this remote with settings, with a little band that you can put around your arm, and it also clicks in on the side of the machine so you never lose it. So do I recommend this product? If it's not obvious already, between the price, the durability, the portability, and also those nice warranties and the 30-day return policy, I was going to say, I think I've seen a video where a cat uses one of these to walk. Feel more than comfortable to recommend this product to you guys. I genuinely think this is going to be a game changer for me personally. So if you're interested in trying this product out, head on to the description or the pinned comment and click my link. So use my code WP30OFF for $30 off your order and start your fitness journey in 20.
Hey, that's what Ethan said, right? Low expectations and high delivery. So you set expectations low, so anything you do seems like you're really selling.
2025 with moi. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of my weight gain, but also, thanks to FlexiSpot, my weight loss over the past couple months and years. Thank you guys. All right, finally, we're gonna get to the weight. The big weight reveal. How much have I gained since I moved to America? So my first obstacle was kind of getting my weight when I moved here was tricky. I had a couple data points way back. In 2021, I weighed 140 pounds. And I found another data point around mid-2022. I think
140, that's crazy. How tall is Love? Young Fika height. $140. He doesn't look short, like that short compared to everybody else. Maybe he's like 5'8", maybe 5'9". That still feels kind of light.
I think around like 10 months before I moved to America. And at that point, I was 154 pounds. So I'm gonna say that 154 pounds was the weight that I was when I moved to America. Give or take a couple of pounds, right? I'm gonna kind of ease you guys into how much I weigh now by giving you guys what I was by the end of 2024. 175 pounds. That means I almost gained 20 pounds in the first year or so I was in America. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. I have another data point here that was around 2 months ago, probably a little bit.
Hey, you know what they say? You start putting on weight when you get married because you're so in love. He just did that with America. Boy, did he love them Taco Bell stops.
More actually. This was at my highest weight ever. I think in 2025, I have felt a little bit more stressed than usual for a multitude of different reasons. And I think that made me gain weight more. You know, I was at a point where I felt so heavy. So my mental was really down low and I felt like, what is a couple more pounds gonna do? I'm already at this weight, right? So all that resulted by around 2 months ago, I was at my all-time high, 200 pounds. Actually, to be precise, I was 199.9 pounds. I didn't even realize I was that heavy at the point. And I think
we just got a title. It just finally popped up. Adam McIntyre's snark scandal proves Ethan was right about Reddit. Kind of feels like a filler one. I'm not gonna lie, guys. This feels like you were just scrambling something together. You guys just need to throw the doc you guys have into ChatGPT and be like, give us a good title based on these, and then just get like 100 different titles. Pick the best one. Go ChatGPT, create 100 titles. ChatGPT, pick one of the titles. But still no thumbnail.
I think looking back, I was feeling really bad, and that's kind of where I realized, oh my God, I gotta start losing weight before this train just runs away, right? So that was at a point where I started doing these streams that was kind of health related. I did the salad review, and I really did start eating way more healthy. I started eating like these steak salads from Tender Greens and whatnot. So all that leads me to the day when I started this challenge. I was actually already down to 187 pounds, which means I lost around 14 pounds from my all-time high a couple months ago. I have even better news is after these 2 weeks, I am down.
I've always been in a fluctuation of weights. I'm currently like 235 to 240. My skinniest I ever got down to was like 185, I think. And looking back in those photos, I was definitely too scrawny. I needed to have more. Like, I was trying to lose weight too much instead of trying to build muscle and stuff on top. I'm not like super cut or anything now. I'm a little flabby man, but you know, it is what it is. We just big over here. Come at me. Try and fend me off. Well, don't try. I'll try and fend you off. That sounded like a threat. My bad. That sounded weird. I take it all back.
Down to 179 pounds, 20 pounds from our all-time high. And I feel really good about it because I haven't gone completely health freak, right? I haven't gone to the gym every day. I haven't just eaten salads. I've still been enjoying myself. That feels really good to have lost pounds without going crazy. Because I've always thought about the longevity of losing weight. If I go cutthroat and I slice everything unhealthy in my life, I know I'm gonna gain weight at some point. I'm gonna get tired of it and I'm gonna gain the weight back. So I'm doing it in a slow, methodical way of cutting out unnecessary things, but not everything. So I really think that's how we're gonna get this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the smartest way to do it. Building muscle is hard. See, my whole idea is this. I don't want to look like a bodybuilder or like a, you know, Mr. Olympia. I'd want to look more like a strong man, you know what I mean? Like if any type of physique I could have, I'd want to just be big, be bulky rather than fat or ripped. That nice in between. Because you want the strength, but you also want level of mobility. You want like certain, you know, there's certain things that come with not being so cut.
Momentum and keep it going, right? I really don't see this as the finish line. So what did I learn from all this, and will I go back to fast food? I definitely think that the number one lesson I learned from these 2 weeks is portion sizes, portion sizes, portion sizes. That's my number one thing. I don't get hungry like I did before, and I get full way quicker now. So that's something I want to tell you guys. It literally took 1 week for my stomach to kind of go back to what it used to be. Now I can eat just like a chicken breast and some rice and I get full. It's awesome. And I don't get these crazy sweet cravings or these salty cravings. And in the occasions I do, I might go for some chips. It's not the end of the world. Just don't eat the whole bag in one sitting.
See, I don't care about being lean. I don't think that that's necessary. And I don't think most people should care like, obviously you don't want to put on a bunch of excess fat. But the idea of it being lean, I feel like means that you have little to no fat. But fat can be helpful. Have you never heard the story about the obese man who got stabbed and survived because the 5-inch blade only went through layers of fat and didn't hit any organs or anything? It can help you sometimes.
You know what I mean? And yeah, fast food, maybe I'll have it occasionally, but maybe I'll skip the fries. Maybe I'll take a small fry instead of a big.
Exactly, H3 last week. Gotta rock that dad bod. You know how it's done. You know. You could extend your life like 15 years or something by working out. That is like the one thing that I've heard is like when people talk about what are the benefits of actually like getting ripped or whatever. There's no benefits to getting ripped because that can put more strain on your heart. But actually exercising can benefit you because it can strengthen things like your heart and your other organs. It isn't just the building muscle, it's the creating a solid ecosystem inside. We have a thumbnail now? Let's take a look. I'm not trying to be rude. This feels a little thrown together, guys. I'm expecting a good show, as always. But let's get it together. Let's get some snaps. We always support. No, I'm just trolling. We do a little trolling. I just honestly, I genuinely wasn't expecting this to be a topic of discussion today. I feel like it would have been talked about. Like if they were going to talk about it, it would have been more important the last few. But I guess the building up is important because, like, I discussed some of it yesterday about the love stuff and all of those topics. And so it will be good to hear like their insight with Love actually being able to explain his whole the circumstances surrounding people contacting ICE about him and all that. Lost around 35 pounds this year, but I haven't been to the gym at all. My muscles are probably all atrophied to nothing. Hey, I heard this somewhere, and honestly, I think it's so true. Doing one push-up is better than doing no push-ups. Doing one sit-up is better than doing no sit-ups. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm not doing anything, I can't do a lot, what you're doing is you're conditioning yourself, and eventually you'll be able to do more. Eventually you'll be able to get yourself through more stuff. So it's all about baby steps. You never just jump into the deep end on your first time swimming.
Large one, maybe I want to have a frappe or a milkshake. You know, I can cut out those.
I literally skimmed the content poop by Bad Empanada, and people talk about the greatest hits when they talk about Hasan. Oh, they just love bringing up the greatest hits. I'm not even like trying to be that guy, but I could make a better hate video on Ethan if I wanted to. Bad Empanada's points were so fucking vapid. Like, I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm not going to be like, every point I could dismantle and yada, yada, yada. But because I was thinking about watching it, like, on a different stream. But legitimately, it's all just the fucking same shit we heard of things like the Raider of Ramallah and, like, I don't even think he shows the Yoav Gallant clip. He shows, like, a bunch some other stuff. Of Ethan saying that Patrice Wilson's a pedophile, so that means Ethan is a hypocrite because he defames people. And then also Bad Empanada at the end saying like, I'm just a normal guy, you know. Ethan likes to make it seem like I'm not doing it, like I'm evil or I'm sinister, but in reality I went British a little bit, but he was like, in reality I'm just a soft little boy who likes making videos, and I'm just playing into the hype train that Ethan's created. Even though he's posted things on Twitter like, can someone send me pictures of dead Israeli children so I can jerk off or whatever the fuck, something along those lines. Sorry if that wasn't it verbatim, but the dude's an actual fucking lunatic piece of shit. So seeing that at the very end proved to me that there's no reason to watch any of that video. Like, come on.
Like excessive calories.
A part about Malaysian government. I actually hadn't seen. That's what I mean is I didn't watch the whole thing. So maybe there is like a point in there that is like an interesting thing. I doubt he's still suing Noah. No, yeah, it's just such a. It genuinely just. It makes me feel, and I always bring it up because I just think it's so funny. It reminds me of that Destiny clip where Destiny is just like, call people this isn't what he says, but he's basically going like, call people the N-word, call people, because he says call people the R word. He says that, and he's like, say these actual things, because he's talking about iDubbbz pussyfooting around like being a bad guy, and it's like, if you actually believe these things and think them to be true and be like justifiable, then just say them with your chest and don't pussyfoot around it.
Calories and kind of keep it chill, keep it low key. Another thing that I learned over the break was that I actually do enjoy cooking. We did the Lazy Girl cooking stream, which I actually one of my favorite cooking streams in a long time. It was basically meals that are easy to do and that you can throw together in literal minutes. And that was a great wake-up call that cooking doesn't actually have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a billion ingredients, and it doesn't have to be like this massive thing. It can be pretty simple. So if you want to check that out, the link's in the description. Now, I know in the previous video, I did invite you guys to join me for the 2 weeks, and I've never gotten that many comments on a video before. All of you guys were dedicated to joining me, and I think a lot of you guys did follow through. Maybe some of you skipped it for a week, you know? Anything is a dub. Anything that's better than now is a dub. So good job, guys. And I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna invite you guys to keep this up, not as hardcore, but just kind of keep the momentum going. Less fast food every week. don't order, walk to the store, walk to the restaurant, burn some calories, and yeah, you're gonna be chilling. All right, I think that's the end of the video. I'm happy, I'm proud of myself, I'm proud of
Bacon is a real simple dish when you don't cook it, you're so right.
you guys. Thank you for following me on this journey. If you guys have any questions on like tips and tricks, feel free to drop it in the...
Step 1, turn on a pan. Turn on your stovetop. Put the pan on the stovetop. Put the bacon in the pan. Cook it until it is crispy. Take it off. Or you can put it on parchment paper on a baking sheet and put it in the oven. I get it. I want to eat like a caveman. I want it right now. Put it over the fire. Me make it and eat and then go to sleep.
In the comments below, we still have some sticker packs left.
Ethan said nuclear. What's the problem? What's the problem with this? Imagine Ethan has on Adam McIntyre to debate. That would be something.
Left. So if you guys want to get those, you can get them in the description down below. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys. Piker for life, and I see you guys in the next one. Peace out. I'm off to cook some broccoli or some shit.
Don't fucking lie to us. You just called meat and hot dogs produce. I know hot dogs are meat, but it's more like a vague meat. You know what I realized? I realized this the other day. I guess I keep realizing it every time that I eat corn dogs, because I get the Foster Farm corn dogs from Walmart. Not sponsored, but I get the Foster Farm corn dogs. And I've never really liked hot dogs, but I've always liked corn dogs. And I realized my dad has always bought the beef-only hot dogs just because he's like, I don't want to get just like a bunch of different meat endings into a hot dog. So he'd always get the beef ones. But Foster Farm corn dogs are chicken corn dogs. So I realized, okay, so I just like the chicken. I just love chicken. That's all it is. Adam is annoying as shit. Yeah, produce. Sorry, I keep saying it wrong. He got produce like hot dogs. Welcome to GeorgeJanitis.com. This website is not endorsed by George Janitis. This is a site that chronicles his behaviors and abuse. All views contained are the opinions of the author or the individual submitter and should not be taken as fact. You should go to GeorgeJanitis.com and let people know your opinion or share any info you might have about George Janitis. Feel free to leave a link to a clip that might help illustrate your point even further. Truly amazing stuff. Here, I do want to check in and see what Dad's doing. Oh. He's live. He's live, everyone. Starting. Okay, he did actually start. There he is.
Soon feel everything. Dad is strong but still growing. Dad feels so good, he is shining. Time for Dad to bring the lightning. Nobody can bring me down. No.
Okay, when does he actually start?
Or someone do a Twitch.
Yeah, he's doing a week-long stream. He's just a real man, you know what I mean?
Comment or YouTube comment. By the way, I'm live on Twitch and on YouTube. We're doing both. Thank you, fake PS. So many people look at it. So here's the Twitch chat. If you want to be on screen, you gotta be on Twitch. Oh, hang on. My timer's a mess. There.
This camera tracking is actually really good. Like whatever stabilizer he's using is really nice.
We got an hour to go. If you guys give $1 on YouTube or Twitch, a bit, a direct donation, a YouTube money, a YouTube membership, a Twitch subscription, a blurb, you play some blurps. All right, alerts are working. It's working.
So he's doing a week-long stream and adding 1 minute for every $1 donated and 2.5 minutes for every sub member. He's going to be here for a while. Unless he just means it's an implied week and this is where he's starting, is it's only an hour for now. Because that could be...
Thank you. If you do any of these things, you will add time to the timer, and that's how long I will stream. So...
He knows how to dance. He's like a professional dancer. That's like his... That's where he started. We got 1 minute until 12:30, and then what we have is 67 minutes only after that. Oh no. Is I looking the right way? Yeah, it was. Okay.
Do anything.
My question is, what is he actually doing? Yeah, he's doing anything.
Blurps, Twitch, bits, noises, YouTube members, Twitch members. It all adds time per second. $1 is a minute. A sub is 2.5 minutes on YouTube or Twitch.
Entrance _ Ramsley.
So keep it going.
Ramsley.
Yes, it's working. Thank you, Max. So Max, you just added like 3.5 minutes or something to the timer. So here's the thing. This is kind of confusing because there's 2 timers, and that's the only way I can make it work, because I'm using the blurp timer, which tracks Twitch activity, and blurps, which are the noises and the GIFs you guys and the videos you guys put on screen. YouTube members and donations will go to this timer. I'll check it every once in a while, and whatever's on it, I'll add to this timer. It's the best way to do it, but everything will
Boom,
get
it is your host.
There we go. We've started. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate everybody that stopped in. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we will be continuing to continue. But go check it out. The stream has started. And, maybe check out Nathan afterwards if you don't have anything to do. But also check out the girl with the microphone later today for her after show. I believe, everybody's doing stuff. It's all going great. So thank you so much for watching. Again, like and subscribe. This is Cap and Quasar signing off.